Hi, everybody. It's me again, Charles Norman, Sports Solutions, LLC. We are the creators of Athletic SOS. And so I wanted to continue the series that I've been doing on the unknown, the sort of small little things that you can do to give yourself advantage over everybody else trying to get an athletic scholarship. So for your kid, they're coming out of high school, they're trying to get this scholarship, and everybody's competing with you. But one of the things I want to talk about in this one is the fact that a high school kid really holds very little value as far as a college coach is concerned. If you really think about it, I'm talking more about the D1, the highest level athlete, that it really is a big headache trying to get this high school kid. And so let's compare two people here. So let's say I'm a high school coach and I've got a choice of, I've got this transfer portal now that exists. So I can see all the kids that are coming that already either played at the collegiate level already and shown that they can handle the classwork and they can handle playing at that level. I can see their body of work at the collegiate level. And maybe for whatever reason, and it's funny because when people get a little bit older, get in my age group, it's like, these kids, they come out, they go to college to play and they can't wait their turn, or they don't want to work hard and stick it out and all of that. But if you look at it from the other side is, why would I do that? Nobody's loyal on the other side either. And they're starting to get that. My generation, it was that if you went in, you wait in line, you did what you're supposed to do, you followed all the rules, things would go pretty well for you. But now it doesn't work that way anymore. And these kids understand that. And when you're older, we don't get it. We see it, but we don't get it. We keep thinking about all the things that we went through to overcome, but the rules were still in place. If you went somewhere, if you got a job, if you got your grades right, you didn't cause any problems anywhere, if somebody hired you at a company, it was pretty legit. You were going to be there probably for the next 20, 30 years if you wanted to be there. Maybe you changed jobs once or twice to move up. If you had connections and stuff like that, you kind of move forward. It doesn't work that way anymore for these kids. So we got to give them some grace. So let's just imagine I'm a college coach and there was a kid I was trying to recruit before and they didn't come to me. They went to somebody else. And now they went there and things just didn't work out. And it could not work out for a variety of reasons, but it didn't work out. And now they've thrown themselves in the transfer portal. Now, I'm of the belief, and I can't prove this, is that before kids go into that transfer portal, there's a wink and a nod from somebody on the other side that's from another school or something, that you sort of let them know you were going to the transfer portal, and or it's like, hey, if you get in there, we'd love for you to come back. Maybe, and that's why I think it's really important for you as a high school athlete and for the parents. Don't overlook some of the schools that you're not going to, that are not interested in you. I mean, that were interested in you, but you weren't necessarily interested in them. Like you had this big fish you wanted to fry over here, so you weren't really polite or conscious of how you treated others. And that's a big deal. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later, because if things don't go well over there, you want to have a fallback plan. Where else can I go? Hey, this school over here really loved me. I talked to them. I let them know I was making this other decision and maybe my reasons why I was making that, but I was really polite and cordial to them and they really wanted me. And I kind of wanted to go there, but I had my eye over here all the time. I always wanted to be over here. And so I went there, and now it's an opportunity to say, hey, this wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I want to go over here where they love me. One of the things I tell you guys all the time is go where you are cherished, where you're loved. These people really want you. I know it's not necessarily the school you were thinking about before, but if you get in that situation, you're going to love it if you get there and you can actually play, right? They've vetted you. They really want you there. That's your best fit 9 times out of 10. And sometimes it wasn't what you wanted, so you avoid it, but think about that. But now you can come back and you don't have to sit out a year like they did the old days. So you go to this college over here, college A, you get there, and then for a lot of kids, they're going to redshirt you anyway. So that means that you're going to sit out that first year. You're going to bulk up. You really don't have the size, and they can get a chance to let you get acclimated to being in school. So you learn how to study like a college student where nobody's really holding your hand the way they were before, and you got to learn to make it kind of on your own. Now, you do have the athletic program to help you with a lot of this. They'll give you tutors and scribes and things like that, but for the most part, you're maturing, you're adapting, you're away from the family, the people that could fix things for you. That's over with. And you're going into a place where 90% of the kids are academically sound and they want to be there. They paid to go to this school. And so they're trying to get ready for their futures. And so everybody's on point when it comes to academics. And so you have to go fit in with that world. And so those are kind of things where if I'm the college coach, I want that mature player. Yes, they may have if they weren't redshirted, that they just didn't get a chance to play and they want to transfer because of that. Or you have the kid that actually did play and now they want to move to another school also. And so because the team, maybe everybody left, all the seniors left, or they just don't like the way things are going. They feel like their stock has risen. They were in a mid-major or a low major D1. Now they want to move up. So all of these things are going on. There's all these kids that are in this transfer portal that are quality athletes and quality kids. They've proven themselves. And now I've got this high school kid. I got to go get this high school kid. I've got their parents. I've got their ego. They're probably a big person on campus. They want to come play at the collegiate level, but I'm looking at their size. I got to get them in the weight room. I've got to get them set up to be able to handle what's going over here. And it's a gamble for me because I don't know how that's going to turn out, which is why you have all the people in the transfer portal as it is. But I can see this kid's got talent, but I also see this other kid over here. And even if they did play, that college kid that's in the transfer portal, maybe they only lost 1 year. And so that can make the big difference for me to say, okay, I can get this kid for 3 years, or I can get this high school kid for 4 years, or maybe even 5 because I got to sit them out a year. So if I'm taking all that into consideration, and I knew about this kid in the transfer portal, or I've read about them, or I've heard about them, and I go, this kid was really, really good, I'm going to go after the kid in the transfer portal. And then the other thing that's happening right now, and I know everybody doesn't see it because it's sort of hidden, everything's quiet. I've told you guys over and over about the House versus NCAA settlement that's coming, right? This is where everything's going to change moving forward. But if that happens, when that happens, it's going to be even a bigger reason to not take so many chances on a high school kid, to go ahead and move forward with somebody that's a proven staple. Here's the other thing that a lot of people don't know, and I don't know the case. I think it's Hogue versus the NCAA. I'm not 100% sure what the name of the person is, but this kid was a junior college kid, and he made the argument that his 2 years at the junior college should not count against him going once he goes to the NCAA school. So, and it's in the courts right now. Now, they've only put that the NCAA can't stop him from being eligible, so it's not broadly, but it's coming. I'm going to tell you that's going to come too. So now you got kids that went JC. Maybe they didn't have their grades together. Maybe they need to mature as athletes. It's a less expensive way to get your college world started. You get 2 years out of the way. But if they say as an athlete, you can go to the JC for 2 years, and it doesn't count against your 5 years of eligibility at the college level, 4 years to play, but 5 years overall, then just think about that. Now I've got a kid that's much more mature, much more settled in. Yeah, the rigors of education at a four-year school is a little bit different than it is at a community college, but we can manage that because this kid's more mature. They've got 2 years away from their family, being adults on their own and making their own decisions. And so they'll probably be better suited to come to a four-year school. And if they get all of their eligibility, that's a game changer. So now you got the transfer portal, you got the kids that are coming out of JCs, you got the kids, all of this stuff is going on. And here you are, a high school kid saying, hey, I want to come and play for you. Why would I make that decision as a college coach? It makes very little sense. The only thing that you have as a high school student that I may be interested in is the fact that you're not sullied by the whole experience of already have been in college. And that might be a good thing for me. I might want to bring you in, or it's our tradition. It's just the way we're doing it, but it's going to change over time. But really, that's your biggest advantage, is that you are coming in fresh, green. I can mold you to what we do. So if that's it, weighed against the other things that I talked about earlier, then really the high school athlete in general, I'm not talking about your best of the best, going to change the program in 1 year type of kid. I'm talking about the kid that's really good, can play at the D1 level, will be great, over time, possibly. That kid does not hold as much value as those other players that I talked about. Now, so what can you do about it? That's the big piece for us. When I'm doing these things, I don't want you guys to get into this negative thing. What I'm trying to get across to you guys is what we want to do, and this is for life in general, is you got to figure out, okay, I'm talking to this college coach. They're interested in me, I can tell, or I'm interested in them. We'll kind of have a conversation going back and forth. How do I convince them that they want me? Not me, the athlete. Yeah, you want me for your athletic ability, but you want me in your program. That me, the athlete, I'm going to enhance your campus, your team, and even you as a coach or the recruiting coach. That if I come, you want me there because of who I am, not because of what I can do, but because of who I am. Like you've figured out a way to say, hey, if you take me, this is going to be great for everybody coming there. And how do you get that? And this is the kind of thing that always interests me, gets me excited. How do you convince somebody that you want me in your life, in your world? Because I'm going to enhance whatever else you've got going on. I'm not coming over to run it over. That I fit, that I belong to you. This is the key, I think, to the future for everybody, because people are going to have options with everything that they're doing. I just went to another event for AI in sports, and everything's coming so fast. But can you convince somebody that they want you in their life? And what are the different ways you can do that? And you can talk about some of the obvious ones, that I come there. Maybe I've got a great academic. I study really well. I'm going to bring the GPA up for this whole school if I come and be on your team. I'm a great person, right? I'm really, I don't cause any problems. I'm bringing a skill set as an athlete to what you're trying to do. I can come in, you can give me a partial scholarship, and my family has the money to pay the rest of it. Maybe that makes me valuable to what you're doing. I kind of fill a spot. Maybe I'm going to be a walk-on, and you're not going to pay me the first year. Maybe, maybe my parents, my family has a history of going to your university and playing for your university, and we want to keep that pipeline. Maybe I have younger siblings they can come behind me, and you're interested in my younger sibling even more than me. There's all these different reasons a college coach might want to bring you in just as a athlete in general, but that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is you don't have anything that is overtly something that can benefit me, but I just want to know about you. I want you to come to me. What does that look like? And if I was putting it out, I'm going to do a whole video on that later on once I get through with this series. But some of the things you can think about is, if you can learn to have your personality when you're talking to somebody, that you genuinely care about their well-being, their future, what's going to happen with them, that is one of the things that people don't get very often. People aren't really interested in other people's plight or what they're going through or how they can benefit that other person. You're thinking about the value that you bring to something, not what's going on with them. If you convey that in how you speak, how you talk, that if you bring me in, not only is the whole program is going to be better off when I leave there, that I'm going to uplift what's going on over there. How you convey that is the real tricky thing. And it's something that always interests me, even when I'm trying to do my business dealings and things like that. I try to look, how much value can I bring to you, even though your values, I'm going to bring you value just as the person that's coming in to work with you, but you want me in your world. That's what you got to figure out. What is it about you? And this is where we start developing our personality. Some of the other things you could think about is your social media. Maybe you got a bunch of followings and they're going to come with you when you get to that school. These are all things that you have to think about. Why am I picking you over that kid in the transfer portal? That if the JC thing happens, taking the kid out of JC just in general, even though I get them for 2 years, they're a great athlete, they're a proven entity. Why do I want you? What makes you so special? How are you enhancing me? So all I'm saying in this is, I don't want this to be a negative thing, but a high school athlete does not have the value that they think they do a lot of times. That it's really a headache to bring you in. I'm taking a risk as a college coach bringing you in, and versus somebody else that has already been through it and shown the maturity and shown everything I needed. So I know I'm getting a little bit repetitive here, but really the bottom line for this video, set yourself up in your life. Be the type of person, and start now as a high school athlete. Start talking with some of the other kids. Take all of the power, the social proof that you have right now, and spread it out to others. Learn to do that. Benefit others based on your celebrity, your abilities, and your cachet on campus. And once you start learning how to do that, it changes your life. You sort of come out of your locked-in world and you start thinking about other people in a different way. And then the whole world opens up for you. And then the final piece I will put on this is, if you get that early enough in your world, in your career, you will start to build assets. You will start to become valuable to people that are outside of your sports frame and into other people. You'll be interested in other people. You'll be interested in other things. Remember, imagination and curiosity, and then the ability to dream, to see things, to want to do bigger things. That's the future. Like AI, technology, all of that stuff is going to be able to do all the other basic stuff. Your imagination, your curiosity, and your ability to dream, to see, to think bigger than anything else. And then all these other pieces will fill that in. And then you're going to be around other people that are like you, and you guys are going to change the world. So anyway, what do we want to do? We want to leverage your athletic ability to lead a remarkable life. And this is one more spot on the journey. All right, guys, we're going to keep this series going. I think I'm on another 15 or 16. I'm not even sure which one I'm on right now, but I got 52 of these to do. So stick with me, and we're going to move forward on this whole idea that I'm talking about right now. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.